Got my eyes straight ahead, got my head in the game. With the red light on, I'm just waiting for the change. Keep my head down low.
So back in May of 2023, I did a podcast regarding the Queensland Police Service and their new recruiting tactics that they were taking. Now they had done some surveys. They'd checked in with the young people. They'd gotten all up in on all the lingo that they were supposed to use, and they found out that young people, the ones who they want to recruit, they're interested in money and lifestyle. Fantastic. Money and lifestyle. And I think my my question is my question was at that time, well, if you're looking at people who are just interested in money and lifestyle, then you're going to get people who are just interested in money and lifestyle. Personally, when I joined the police, now I wanted to join the police straight out of school. I couldn't do that because when I first finished school, the Fitzgerald inquiry had just finished, so it shows my age. And obviously, they weren't taking people straight out of high school anymore. You had to go and have some life experience, I was told. So anyway, I went and did that. Life experience came back later on in life. However, when part of the questionnaire and the psych evaluation that you go through, and when they're questioning you about why you want to join the police, I knew I wanted to join the police because I wanted to be able to help my community. I thought it was a good way to be a part of the community, help Australia, help the state of Queensland, be involved in the area that I live in, be able to help people. And also, I liked the idea. I probably didn't understand it as much as I do now, but that idea of upholding justice and upholding the law and standing for righteousness on this earth. So to get back to, obviously Queensland Police have had a lot of issues with recruitment, and now they're all up in the news lately because they're touting how they finally turned a corner and they've got record amount of recruits going through the doors, all these young recruits, all these police coming from overseas. They're really kicking it in. They've thrown a lot of money at it. The honourable, in air quotes, Mark Ryan, they're touting how, the good job that Queensland Police recruitment have done, all these young police, all these police from overseas that they've gotten, they've drawn them in with more money and touting the great lifestyle that you can have. And like I said, I think if that's what you're the kind of recruit that you are trying to lure in, I think you're going to have problems. So all of this, and obviously Queensland Police for the last couple of years, but then in 2023 we saw a lot of bad stories coming out in the headlines, which I tried to cover when I could. Obviously, at the start of 2023, it seemed like a spate of officers all in trouble for drink driving. We had the chocolate thief saga out at Longreach, the fellow who'd been stealing from the social club, the police officer in Longreach, and then they charged him, and then they were doing things illegally because they'd gone and put in. Oh, it's a whole saga. Listen to it. I thought it was funny. You can listen to it, the chocolate thief saga. Anyway, so they feel like they've turned a corner. They've gotten a stack of new young recruits. They've got record numbers going through the doors in Brisbane and Townsville. They've got people going through the PACE program. That's like people who are already police. I forgot what PACE stands for now anyway. So it's the program they use for people who are already police and then they've come back, or they're police in other programs and they've come over to QPS. So they're all happy. They all think they've turned a corner. They've been pushing for people who want money and lifestyle. So you're going to get good value right there. And then I look at how this story, which showed the way they've ended the year, and it's probably not really the way they wanted to end the year with this kind of story, but I think it just shows this is what you get when you are trying to lure people in to be police officers, and you're trying to lure them with money and lifestyle. If that's what you're interested in, if you're not in there to help your community, to stand up for righteousness, for justice, and I'm not talking like everyone has to be some great Christian or anything like that. I'm just saying, you want to be able to see justice, a kind of a not just a fairness or equality, but justice in the system. You want to be able to uphold justice. But if all you're interested in is selfish desires, like a lifestyle, like money, as I was seeing when I was working surveillance in for the Triple C, the Crime Corruption Commission, all the police that I had a part of investigating, doing surveillance, it was always all these people who seemed to not understand what being a police officer were. They were kind of police officers. You do your shift from 7 till 3, and then 3:30 when they were home, they'd be hitting the gym, doing the steroids or doing cocaine or selling drugs and doing all these other weird and wonderful things because they kind of thought that they were just police officers during working hours. You know, the money and the lifestyle, but they didn't want it to interfere with their real lifestyle of partying. So, like I said, that draws me into this story, which I don't think is the way. This is not the way that Katarina Carroll would want to end 2023. However, the story came out in December 28. So, sorry, Katarina, this is the way you end the year. Police officer issued with notice to appear in the far northern region. So, a 24-year-old constable from the far northern region has been served with a notice to appear for allegedly possessing liquor in a restricted area. For those of you who don't know, if you're not living in Queensland or in Australia, so there's areas where in far northern Queensland, especially where you have alcohol bans, okay, they're not mainly Indigenous areas, and they have liquor bans, and you can't have alcohol. They have very strict liquor policies because alcohol causes so many issues up there, and there's very limited resources. So they have these very tight liquor bans up there, and rightly so. A lot of the Indigenous people up there, the elders actually want it and actually vote these things in themselves. They push for it to be in themselves because they can see the damage that not having liquor restrictions does to their community. So they want a lot of the older people, the elders, the older people with more wisdom who want it, and they bring it in. Anyway, so you're not supposed to have liquor, but that doesn't mean if you're not Indigenous that you can bring liquor in. You can't have liquor in the area. So this officer has been suspended from the Queensland Police Services and expected to appear in the Kowanyama Magistrates Court on January 18, 2024, charged with 1 count of possession of liquor in a restricted area. Here we have sign for police recruiting. Remember, at the start of 2023, Queensland Police decided that they wanted new young recruits. They've years ago they've done away with the whole, don't take you out of high school anymore. We want life experience. They've done away with that, and they'll take you straight out of high school at a very young age again. And they realize that young people are interested in money and lifestyle. And this lady here, 24-year-old constable. So she's not a senior constable yet. So she's only just been in, very possibly still in her first year, because you can go up to Cow. I think as part of your first year program, you can still go up to Kowanyama. But probably more likely she's in her second year of policing, something like that. She's gone and done a 3-month rotation up there. This is what you get when you recruit police, when you recruit people who are just interested in money and lifestyle. You got liquor restrictions, and you can't even go up to a place for a limited amount of time and obey the rules like everyone else has to. That's what you get. That's what you get. And all I can see is Queensland Police having more issues. They're talking about their record numbers coming through the doors. They've got a record number of police from overseas that they've recruited with their big push of recruitment for overseas police. They've got record numbers coming through young police recruits. It's all great. But if you're just trying to entice people with money and lifestyle, then all you're going to get is people who are just interested in money and lifestyle, and they don't really care about enforcing law. They don't really care about justice. They don't really care about helping the people of this great state. And if you are not interested in helping the people and standing with the people of this great state, then I'm afraid you really don't deserve, you really should not be a police officer. Because if all you're interested in is money and lifestyle, and if you can't even go to Kawanyama and go without drinking alcohol for a short period of time, if you can't even do that, if that's the kind of police officer that QPS is getting, Lord help us in the future when all these other new people come out of the academy that they're spruiking on us. Anyway, let me know what you think. I reckon we're in for a world of hurt in the very near future. That's just my opinion. Thank you for listening to The Slippery Slope.
Wheels up on a cool spring evening. The breeze comes from behind. We join the birds out over the water and leave the city far behind. Hear the music playing in the distance. There's a love song on the line. Look out the window, the birds out on the water, and I'm singing my own rhyme. Here comes the sun, dancing on the moon. Here comes my baby in the distance. I can smell a sweet perfume. Can you see the stars? They're dancing to a tune. I know my baby, she's waiting in the distance and singing her own tune. I'm still in love with you. Touchdown, the air is so much warmer. The breeze blows by my side. Take a step, look out into the distance. I see her smile one more time. Hear the music playing in the distance. I hear a love song one more time. See the birds dancing in the moonlight, and I'm singing my own rhyme. Here comes the sun, dancing on the moon. Here comes my baby in the distance. I can smell a sweet perfume. Can you see the stars? They're dancing to a tune. I know my baby, she's waiting in the distance and singing her own tune. Yeah, yeah. Here comes the sun, dancing on the moon. Here comes my baby in the distance. I can smell a sweet perfume, yeah, yeah. Can you see the stars? They're dancing to a tune. I know my baby, she's waiting in the distance and singing her own tune. I'm still in love with you. 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 I'm still in love with you.